Sheesh, Krell, this job sounds easy. Like it's human, they haven't even colonized their own moon yet. I can go in there, eliminate what I need, and leave. Easy as that. Perry told the leading commander of Trothan, Commander Krell Gregorts, who was sitting in front of the small, killing machine young adult known as Perry from the Haggett species. I don't want you to cause harm to these humans. It's not their fault these eggs have landed on their planet. Go there, find the eggs, and eliminate any chance of them hatching. Krell now told Perry, slowly losing his temper due to the hothead and cockiness of Perry's personality. Perry smiled, almost realizing the leading commander was disliking him more and more as the time went on, making a comment to really get under his skin. You know I hate that you got the Medal of Peace for stopping the war between the Pelota planets. If it was me, I would have dropped 2 vertibombs into their atmosphere, ignite their air into flames, watch both planets burn with nothing they can do about it. Perry now started laughing, thinking of how everyone would instantly start to burn, slowly and viciously. Quiet, you imbecile. Krell now yelled at Perry, standing up over him after hearing the insensitive comment, his 8-foot heavy-built body creating a shadow over the 5-foot standing Perry. You know, I miss you. I remember when you started the war in Jasiva. You killed so many people in every town you were sent to. The troops, sure, kill them. But you didn't show the Jatsiva beings in those towns any peace. You basically shot them all, burned the towns and left, like my pet Floor taking a shit on the floor and leaving. That was you. That's you. I miss that, Krell. I want him back. I want to be what you were. Perry said, smiling, his grin reaching both ends of his face, hoping he finally got around to Krell's good side. I'll be honest with you, Perry, Krell went, his tone being bleak and serious, matching his desert-bleached skin and square-shaped head. You applied being a part of my army when you had just passed introductory schooling. You didn't get in because you had more fights in your school than any other student in the school's 100-year history. You also didn't pass almost any of your classes. With the some that you did pass, you cheated through. Seriously, Perry, who threatens to skin a teacher's pet in order to pass a class. Then you left Trothan, spent 3 years doing tasks for God knows who, but ended up killing the surrounding members and leaders of the Warda Group, ending their dictatorship on the SADA system. And because of that, I thought you changed, that you moved on from your reckless, violent antics, and instead focused on stopping bad people, actual bad people. So that's why I called you here, to do a simple job, one you are more than capable of doing. But no, I can see that you are still the same violent animal that should be put down. And I can't be the one who does it since so many people praise you for what you did for Sata. But I swear, if I could, I would put a bullet right through your blue head. Perry stood back from Krell, a smile as he went through what he had heard from the commanding general, himself nodding joyfully as he started realizing why Krell had originally called him. Do you want to kill me, Krelly? Here, do it then, Perry said arrogantly, bringing the silver pistol from his hip and placing it on the table, the barrel of the gun facing him. Come on, Krelly. An older version of yourself would know this is a good idea. Kill the violent animal. Put it down. He started to say, nearly singing to the words. Stop being a fool, Krell said, twisting the gun's barrel away from Perry to the side and sliding the gun closer to him. You can't kill me. Then Krell can you. You need me to do your dirty work because the moment it goes dirty, you can blame it on my character. I'm the perfect fall guy, huh? I'm okay with that, though, but this fall guy isn't cheap. 3 million units paid now to me. Krell almost laughed at the number Perry suggested, knowing how ridiculous it is. That figure could get me 3 falls guys just like you. Krell replied to Perry. Perry smiled. But I'm the one you called for this job. If you want to do it cheaper, then go ahead. But I can't guarantee you would be satisfied with the results. Krell sat back in his chair, looking at Perry's face, his tentacles in the back of his head rising slightly, then lowering themselves in a sway motion. 500,000 units now. 1 million units when you complete the job. Krell now replied to Perry upon thinking it over, knowing it was almost a guarantee that Perry would be the only hireable asset to do this job correctly. You know it would suck if those eggs hatched because no one could do this job. Like those animals ripped up the Olega system within what? A month. 5 billion different life forms wiped out, and now you have those creatures being cannibalistic to each other trapped in that system. I mean, thank God there's a protective measure around the planet now, one stopping those things from spreading. How much is that costing you guys, by the way? I'm assuming more than 1 million units. Would be a shame if that same thing happened to Earth. Perry went, addressing the harsh realities of it to Krell. Fine. 1 million units now, 2 million units when you return with the eggs destroyed. Krell replied, a speedy Perry response relaying the message, 2.5 million upon my return. I think this conversation is making my rate go up. Krell growled at Perry, his eyes crunched, peering into the soul of the cocky bastard that stood in front of him. He nodded slightly, telling Perry they had a deal, adding, the asteroid landed about a month ago in a forest. Intel says a group of young humans found it while hiding in the woods. Then a group of more elite and heavily equipped humans came and took the eggs from them. We believe these elite humans were the military, delivering the eggs to a base 250 miles away. There they are being stored. Where exactly is unknown. I just need you to find a way in, sneakily, without any deaths, and eliminate each egg. Can you do that, Perry? Perry smiled. You wouldn't have called me if I couldn't do it, Krelly. Now standing up and skipping out of the office, turning around to Krell one more time. But if things do go bad, I'll still make sure the mission's a success, he said, whipping out both his pistols and firing at Krell, both shots hovering an inch above his left and right shoulder, drilling into the wall behind him. Perry! Krell screamed at the careless and foolish bastard, the closing door blocking the sound from Perry already in the hallway. Perry entered Earth atmosphere within 6 hours of the conversation. His older model, Photon 11, which was the primary attack cruiser for space battles in the Tovan War 100 years ago, still new enough to evade any detection from Earth's latest technology. Perry now landed the Photon in the grass plains sat next to the dense forest from which the asteroid had landed. The local time was around 3 a.m., so no human contact was made with Perry as he got out. Perry then walked the trail, using a tracking technology to find the crashed rock. He now stood in front of it, peering at the silver rock with black streaks running across it, with holes along the outside from where the eggs he had been sent for were set. 3, 4, 5, 6. Perry counted to himself, knowing that was the number he was now looking for. Then a growl came from behind, and Perry looked behind him. The open blackness of the woods was the only view he had as he scanned his surroundings. A branch breaking beside him now pointed him to his left, holding the pistol in its holster. A creature now attacked, Perry staring at the sharp row of teeth and the giant claws coming from the paw of the creature. Perry defended himself, a quick zip sound coming from his pistol, the red bolt shooting through the bear's head, the creature collapsing to the ground without another movement. Weak beast, Perry muttered, looking at the biology of the creature, stroking its fur. Perry then started to head back for his ship, smiling over first successful part of the mission for which he had just completed. Perry now took his Photon ship in the air, scorching the prairie ground below him as he raced off into the night, a 30-minute flight layer as he started his descent to his next location. He looked at the building from over 1,000 meters away, the perimeter being secured with a wall and armed guards every 100 feet. Looks like a fun challenge, Perry said to himself, pondering on how he would get inside. He then started to put together a plan to infiltrate the base, which involved flying in, hiding, and sneaking into the building by taking one of the guards. He hopped into his ship, setting the autopilot to return in his secret secluded location upon dropping him off, now hovering and slowly going toward the base at 100 miles per hour. He quickly activated the autopilot, and upon being directly above the secure facility, Perry jumped down, knowing that his fun would just begin. He landed on the roof of the building, using the thrusters at the bottom of his feet to stick the landing softly, avoiding alerting anyone to his whereabouts. He then managed to slip through a gate in the wall, scaling down the ladder and successfully entering the building without being noticed. Perry then entered the room he was in, filled with autonomous computers and pipes being filled and pushed with water. He looked around. Another human not in the room with it, and he found a door leading out. He opened it, the exiting room being brighter than the previous, as it was now filled with a long table with chairs running the sides. He went through the room, exiting and entering a hallway, now walking down, exploring the building while keeping an eye out for any eggs that could be around. He strolled for a few minutes before an alarm started to ring above him, and the sound of footsteps hitting the ground and coming closer put a smile on his face. "Like I told Krell, I'm the fall guy," Perry said, twirling the two pistols in his hand. Then he saw a soldier turn the corner of the hallway, able to get a quick glance at Perry before the alien shot him, the red laser bolt creating a hole in his head. Two other men then turned the corner, their shots being closer to Perry, who rolled to the left, then firing two return shots, killing both men. Perry retreated down the hallway, the sound of more footsteps coming, an eagerness filling him to kill them all. "Will," I yelled up to him impatiently and annoyed given the circumstances of the situation. I didn't hear a reply from him as I walked up the stairs, seeing him in his own room we had set up for him. He was on his video game console, looking to be starting a level over. "I need to go to the station. Something is being attacked, and the chief wants us there and ready to go in case something happens," I said to him hastily. "Smoke World?" he remarked. "Not that I can think of, at least nothing me or Dip should have done," I said, fearful that it could be. Will nodded, and I closed the door, rushing out the house. Will then put down his video game as soon as he heard the front door close. "Let me try again," he said, the voice of Alos reaching him. "And focus. I need to be able to see it." Will closed his eyes, focusing on the only thought Alos wished for. During this, he could feel the coldness of a sweat drip come down his neck, then the light coming in front of him. A small gray and gold portal opening in front of him. Alos could see it on the other side, his satisfaction peeking from the hours and days they have tried for this exact moment. He tossed the object through, Will opening his eyes and seeing it lay on the ground in front of him, the portal now being closed due to the lack of focus. But Alos and Will both agreed that was an afterthought. The idea of what was now on Earth being much more valuable. Will stared at this new object, nearly all black in a small oval shape, not much bigger than a dollar bill. A smile appeared over Will as it started to move, then a moment later taking flight. He watched it circle around the room, now lighting itself in a neon blue color. Will pulled out his hand, the creature gently landing on it as he stared at it in astonishment. "Die, you human garbage!" Perry yelled, shooting the already deceased corpse in front of him 3 more times, with each shot ringing in the maze of hallways he had found himself in. Now he could hear more footsteps coming for him, himself thinking the armed guards wanted revenge for the dozens of bodies that were now killed by him. He smirked at this thought, now running the opposite direction of them, entering a stairwell and descending lower into the earth. He now entered another floor, then turning a corner and looking down the barrel of troopers waiting for him. He ducked back, barely missing the barrage of shots that followed, striking through the wall that he once stood before. Perry now returned fire, striking 2 of the guards in the head, now rolling out into the hallway, spreading and firing down the hallway, wiping out the old threat. He continued down the hall, firing one last shot as he passed a guard moaning on the floor in pain, ending it. "Nice to see something new," Perry said, gazing upon the gigantic metal doors locked shut in front of him, much different than the casual office layout of the government building. He looked for a way to unlock it, shooting the keypad, making the gate open as he walked inside. There he found a lab, one with microscopes and test valves of different colors. He passed silver-gray tables of stainless steel and research papers thumbtacked to boards. He left one part of the lab to go to the next, now seeing different animal species on the wall. In this room, he saw the stretched, standing body of a human figure whose skin appeared as oak wood. He noticed that it was much longer than any other human he encountered, its head nearly touching the 15-foot ceiling, and its hand only have 2 finger-like claws instead of the 5 fingers on a human. He passed on from this display, now looking at curled-up skin of a reptile, appearing as a large 20-foot snake, made to be as white as the first snow of winter. Finally, only display were 2 large wings which were honeycomb in color and transparent enough for Perry to see the screws that kept them hung onto the wall. Perry now looked around the room again, some of these deceased beings reminding him of others from planets, while some having no relation in Perry's mind. He now walked to the next room, finally seeing what he was after in a glass vase, the eggs being supported in a liquid. He aimed his pistol, shattering the glass and letting the eggs drop on the floor as he shot the first one. He then pointed his pistol at the remaining, counting as he shot each one. He now looked puzzled, circling the vase and avoiding the shards of glass while carefully counting each egg that was inside. He now backed away, moving to the next room and not finding the last missing egg, but instead a scientist hiding behind a desk. Perry pushed his gun into him, leading the scientist into the room and yelling at him, "Where is the 6th egg?" "What 6th egg?" The scientist went in a pleading voice to Perry. "You dumb shit can't count. The meteor had 6 eggs. Your men took 6 eggs. Where's the 6th egg?" Perry yelled at him, not having it with the man. "You can check the logs. We found 5 in the woods, only 5. The man now said, nearly sobbing. Perry then looked away from the man, the sound of footsteps coming toward him, and knowing there wasn't another room for him to escape to. He pushed the scientist back, firing a lasting blow into the scientist's heart before moving to the next room, shooting the grate of an air duct and squeezing in. 30 minutes later, Perry returned to where he was at originally, his ship still undetected from when he had last left it. He entered, turning on the mic and connecting out to space. "We have an issue. The humans only took 5 of the eggs. Those 5 are destroyed, but there is 1 left," Perry said. "I thought you told me you were the only one who could do this mission." "Perry, I hope you don't plan to return until that egg is found and destroyed, no matter the cost," Krell said to him on the other line. "It will get done. I have a hunch that the people who found it originally have an idea on where it is. And I know how to get information out of these people. They beg if you hurt them the slightest." Perry continued, ending his call. 55 people were killed by this thing. We don't know what it is, just that it entered our base and went full-on cowboy massacre. A voice told Dr. Isaac Latham. "And we don't know what it is, so he can't be indicted now that he was involved," Latham said. "It doesn't matter. What things does Dip not tell us? Who knows how many more friends he has, just like Alos," the voice continued. "We can't prove any." Latham went before being abruptly interrupted. "Silence, we just need to end this. Find a will to end Dip, even if that means taking his life."